Open up, disappointing loss. Starts with me. Really ends with me too. Like I got to have the team ready to play better. And as a coaching staff, we'll get a lot of things corrected. I asked our guys to look in the mirror as we go through this and figure out what we can all do to be better. But it starts with me, like I said, and heartbreaking loss. Don't like the way we played. Scoreboard matters, but the way we played was frustrating. Never felt like we could. First drive was really good offensively, and then really just never felt like we could stay in rhythm. And they had us on our heels. Their quarterback played lights out, man, 31 to 33. Fantastic game by that kid. Phenomenal player. I thought he was the best returning quarterback in our league coming through the summer when I studied everybody in the conference, and he played like it tonight. So disappointing loss. Not pleased with it. We got our butts kicked. I got to help us be better. With that, I'll open it up.
There were some things that happened tonight. There had been signs of earlier this year, but 31 to 33, no matter how good the quarterback is, and a lot of those guys were running free.
Yeah, we blow a coverage or two. Guy gets in maybe wrong leverage on one or two. An out route turns into out and up on one, and we lose a guy. Just things that were uncharacteristic. We've had moments where we haven't played clean, but there were some things tonight that were just like, and then maybe in some situations they took some access throws where we weren't challenging as much, and they connected on them when a lot of people haven't been able to connect on them and kind of create advantageous situations for themselves, and frustrated by that. We've got to be a lot better. I mean, hats off to him for playing the way he did. I guess it was 32 or 34. I was off by 2. Oh yeah, he had 31 to 33. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, great game by him. Not good by us.
The 2-point conversion at the beginning of the game, obviously that was something you'd seen on video that you thought what went wrong.
Yeah, we gave up penetration. It didn't work. My fault. Made a decision. We didn't execute it well. Still, looking at it on the iPad, if we execute better, it's there. But that I don't know how that, it didn't obviously work, and we could have gotten those 2 points and it wouldn't have changed the outcome of the game, unfortunately. But I wish that would have been something that at the end mattered, because that would have meant we played better.
You got touchdown right before the half, and in the second half actually got some negative plays against them, and then they still scored a touchdown. I feel like that was kind of the backbreaker.
Yeah, I felt like that was the story of the night almost. It's like as soon as you felt like we maybe were going to create a negative play or two, they found their way out of it. And when they created a negative play or two on us, we just didn't find our way out of it as easy. And so very, very frustrating. I mean, frustrating night all the way across the board. But yeah, just could not quite ever get traction.
Jake started pressing, obviously, that second interception. You decided to change quarterbacks. What did you feel was going on there?
Well, there was a couple of things that just where you go with the football on certain calls and based upon the look you get, that we got to make a little bit better decision. And I love Jake. I love Sully. Love all those guys. But, we have to do what we're coached to do. And unfortunately, a couple of the throws he'd like that back are things that he knows better than on one of them for sure. That is just something that we've coached. And so, but I believe in those guys. They've done a lot of good this year, but wasn't our best tonight.
The perfect pass by Callaway on that pass. You wish it would have come in a situation where you had that dialed up before the game to use in a certain situation.
Well, we've had it in for a few weeks, to be honest, and kind of in and out. Something Jimmy can throw it pretty good, obviously. They lost us downfield there, and he just let it rip. And it was a good, strong throw by him. He was a high school quarterback, so really good throw, but wasn't enough. We're trying to find a way to create something, just a spark to get us going.
The question's going to come about distractions. Did you feel like this team? What did you feel like was the issue tonight in terms of just the first half?
Yeah, I don't think the team was distracted. I know I'm not anything. Like I'm kind of tired of people ask me questions about like, are y'all distracted? I'm like, distracted about what? Like, I mean, there's zero distractions. And if we have any distractions going on, I don't understand it because we're in the middle of really challenging conference schedule, and it takes your full focus and full effort and full energy to be the best you can be to, I don't know.
People have a hard time seeing after a loss like this, but your goals are still in front of you. You've got a huge game in Memphis next week. Just how do you get these guys to bounce back?
Yeah, we need to feel the pain of this one for a little while. This should hurt, it should sting, it should suck. I mean, it does. And then we have to move forward, and we have to stick together. There's going to be a lot of obviously negativity about how we performed, and understandably so. Like I get it. I'm negative about how we performed, but it doesn't do us any good for me to sit around and sulk. We got to bounce back and pick ourselves up. We got a pulse, which means we got a chance. And last year we made it to the conference championship game with one loss in the conference play. I think there's several teams now that have one loss, including us. I think Navy's the only undefeated team right now in conference play. And so we still have a lot to play for, and we're still in control of a lot of things that are in front of us.
Could have been a shootout if you hadn't shot yourself in the foot in the first half. The fumbles, you got fortunate recovery.
Got one back, and then we lost the second one. Yeah.
And frustrated.
Yeah, it's ridiculously frustrating. We had that. We missed the field goal. There's a lot of things that, like, man, really, if we execute better and just, you can't, I think we were -3 in the turnover margin just on pure turnovers. And if you add the fourth downs in there, which I do typically, is how I calculate, then we were -4. You're not going to beat air going -4 in the turnover margin. Like, we're not going to beat a team that has no bodies out there doing that. So much less a team that's a talented team. I mean, I told our guys, like, that team, I thought their skill in particular on the perimeter and at quarterback was as good as anybody we played all year in a lot of spots. And like, going into the year, that's a team that I thought was as good as anybody in our conference.
The blocked field goal, I've had people tell me he wasn't offside.
He wasn't
on play.
He wasn't. Yeah. He wasn't offsides. I mean, watched on the iPad. If he's offsides, that doesn't change the game, but yeah.
Obviously, I mean, UTSA hadn't lost a conference home game in 6 years. I don't think it was really that loud in here last night. But why do you feel like they just play so much better at home? Yeah, they've just been really good here. It really wasn't. The noise really wasn't a factor per se. Really wasn't a loud environment necessarily. But they played really good here at home like they have traditionally, and we did not perform well. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thanks again for being here, Gary. Yeah.
All right. Wide receiver Omari Hayes. Gary, questions?
Halloween's almost here, and with Target Circle 360, you can get everything you need delivered to your door.
Can you repeat that?
It got like a lot of self-inflicted offense, the 4 turnovers. How much do you feel like that influenced the outcome?
I feel like that's a big part of the game. Turnovers, that's something we emphasize all week. Not turning the ball over, and getting the ball off them. So, I mean, I think they did a good job of getting the ball off us, and that's something we got to clean up.
What do you feel like? UTSA is a really good team, but you guys played your worst game of the year. What do you feel like was the cause of it tonight?
I think they did a good job. I think that's a better team than people think. I think people overlook them, and I mean, they did a good job tonight, I think.
People are going to ask about distractions with the coaching situation and all that. Do you feel like that wasn't a factor at all?
No, I just think that was a really good team, and we didn't play our best game, and they beat us. That's all that was.
The touchdown pass you were on receiving, and talk about that pass that
Jimmy, that was a good ball. I didn't even know if he was going to throw it or not. I was in the back of the end zone, but I'm happy he threw it. He put it on the money. I caught it.
All your goals are still in front of you. Just people always overreact off performance.
One loss.
You got a massive game. If you don't beat Memphis next week, your goals won't all be in front of you. How do you bounce back?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you could tell, but I'm calm. I mean, I'm gonna just go back to practice and put in work, and then we're gonna see Memphis on Friday.
Halftime, you guys scored right before the half. that gave you a shot. How disappointing was it to see? I mean, the touchdown for them, interception on the first possession, the second half kind of put it out of reach at that point. How tough was that?
I mean, the game still wasn't over. I mean, we still had a chance to win the game. We still fought, and I mean, we just got to play better. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming in.
$32 safety, Bailey Despanie. Questions?
Rough night for the secondary. The quarterback went 31-33. You got, I don't know, I never know whose responsibility it was, but first possession, they hit a default where you were recovering. What do you feel like happened tonight?
I just feel like they had a game plan and they just executed. You know, they executed better than us. That's pretty much just wraps up the game.
I'm sure you guys kept feeling like you were going to turn it around at some point. Just how frustrating was it when the same things kept happening?
You know, it's frustrating when things don't go your way. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we were still in the game. You know, we just was one play away from changing the tide. So that's something that we just kept pushing on the sideline, just trying to get that one play to keep going. You know, we just fought towards the end, you know, but things didn't go our way tonight.
Their quarterback had some huge games last year. He hadn't put up the same numbers this year because they were so heavy with the running back.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys expect more runs from them, or was it pretty much what you expected?
I mean, they ran their offense. You know what I mean? They ran their same offense that they ran all year. And like I said, they just executed their game plan better than we did.
How key do you feel like that first possession in the second half was? Offense had scored right before the half. You guys actually made some big plays on that drive, but then couldn't get off the field on that series.
Yeah, it was definitely frustrating. Just being able, it really just summarized the whole night. It was a frustrating night for the team in general, offense and defense. So it was very frustrating. But you know, hey, that's the way the game goes sometimes.
All your goals are still in front of you. You just got, if you can flush this loss, you got a really tough game next week, Memphis. What are you going to tell as a veteran leader? What are you going to tell these guys going into next week?
I mean, just let this one hurt for the night. You know what I mean? Let this one for you for the one for the next week. And we still, like you said, we still got everything to play for. You know, our goals still in reach. And like I said, just let this fuel the one for next week.
I feel like things kind of snowballed tonight because when the same thing keeps happening over and over, guys start maybe trying to do too much or get out of their assignment and stuff like that. Did you see any of that?
I wouldn't say everybody was trying to do their own thing out there. You know, like I said, I just feel like they just executed better than us on both sides of the ball. You know what I mean? So it's pretty hard to do that when things like that goes.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Gary.